Hi and welcome to our program. Today we are visiting the exhibition Ready for the Next Pandemic with Welfare-Technology here at Dockx. Follow me to know more. Hi Mikael.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Great.
So what is this about?
Well, you have arrived at Dockx, and Dockx is an interactive exhibition here at Del.1, the main public library in Aarhus, where we exhibit what we call welfare technology, or basically all the kinds of technology that really supports our individual selves and our society as a whole. And we have a lot of different exciting technologies in here that companies have created, both Danish companies and international companies. Then we invite people from all different professional jobs, but also your everyday citizens, and everybody who lives in Aarhus are very welcome to come in here and get an insight into the technology that is also moving our society forward. And we have a new exhibition here, which is called Ready for the Next Pandemic with Welfare-Technology. And within this exhibition, we really try to put focus on how the current pandemic has changed a lot of things in our society, especially how we use technology and digital devices. That has really developed a lot, especially this kind of welfare technology has taken a great leap within this exhibition, or within our society, and that is what we're trying to portray within this current exhibition. So that's technology that you can train at home. You don't have to go to your physiotherapist, for example. It can be communication with your relatives from home. It can also be systems that run on data, so you know a lot more about your body, for example, or it helps you remember things when you are at home.
Okay, and about the pieces, were they already created before? Were some created because of the pandemic?
Yeah, that's both, I would say. There's come a lot of new solutions to the market that can really help us do things that we weren't able to do before. But a lot of the technologies that already existed has then been developed further, and we have everybody has adopted them much more than we had before the pandemic. Much like our digital meetings and so on. And it's taken a great leap, and it's technology that kind of follows that road that has really developed through the pandemic.
Okay, great. Then maybe we can start.
Yeah, let's do.
Around.
Maybe we can start over here. So this is a 3D printer. I think right now it's printing a frog, a small plastic frog. But we can actually produce anything. We can print anything that we can kind of think of with a 3D printer. Now this is a very basic and simple 3D printer which print in a sort of plastic. But you can also get 3D printers that can print in metal and print in a lot of different materials. Something that we have here at Dock1 is that you can come and get help. And you can 3D print on your own. You can get help designing your own devices. And what we do here, actually, this is a project called the Rehab Lab we are presenting here. And they're actually different citizens and students also. They come and develop different things for every day. So this is actually something, I think this was developed during Corona. So if you don't want to take the door handle, you can just take this and push the door handle down and open the door without even touching the door handle. This, for example, is for when you're shopping bag and it's plastic and it gets very heavy. It can really go down into your hands. And then you take this one, and it's just like a normal handle. And this was developed for people with arthritis, like who have trouble, for example, moving their hand and holding a spoon properly. Then if they have this bigger handle, they are much more eligible to actually hold firmly on the handle. And some of these solutions have just been ordinary people coming and developing these solutions because they need them in their everyday life. This is a very basic one and very easy to make. It's a straw holder. So you put this on the glass and then the straw goes in here. So it's firm and can be very helpful if you don't have that much functionality and be able to move around.
And this is to hold like the cards?
Yeah, this is to hold cards if you're...
This is really smart also.
Yeah, it can also be for arthritis or people who have trouble holding the handle. Yeah, and
like so simple.
Yeah, very simple solutions for everyday life. And if it needs to be in a better material than this, then these are just prototypes, and then you can send them off, and we have partnerships with people who have bigger 3D printers and can print in metal if that is what you need. So that's something we do just out here, and Dock1 also have a lot of other possibilities where you can come and learn to 3D print. And probably, maybe someday, not too far in the future, everybody will maybe have a 3D printer at home or
cool.
some place near you. So if you need something for your bike or for your lawnmower or for your joystick to your PlayStation or anything, you can just 3D print it locally. And you don't have to order it on Amazon. So there's also an environmental piece in it that you can produce things locally. You don't have to produce things in China and get them sent to Denmark.
And on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Also, how much are the 3D printers?
I think maybe the prices probably start from 2,000 Danish crowns, and then it goes up to very, very expensive printers. But there are many printers that are sold for home use, something you buy yourself and have in the family, and will be able to print smaller things. Okay. Basically, you can get 3D printers that can print almost cars, huge segments. They of course are quite expensive.
Yeah, can imagine. So what's next?
Let's go over here to this little man. This is actually two guys from Aalborg University who has developed this. They are called Ergo. The product is called Ergo Lab, and they are called Motion Catch. So there's a small video here trying to explain what they do, but basically what they do is they work with motion capture. So motion capture, many people know from movies like the Avengers or something. They use a lot of motion captures to create the animations. What they are using motion capture to that is basically looking at what you call ergonomics. So how are you working through the day, for example? If you have a job where you are lifting a lot of things, then your employees or yourself would probably like to know what is healthy and what is not healthy in these movements. And that is what you can do with these sensors. If this were a person, you would place them on each body part, and then you would actually be able to create an analysis of the movements of the neck, the back, the shoulders, and everything. And you would be able to create a little avatar, and on that you can make an analysis and see if the person through the day is at risk of getting injured through his or her work, and then you get a small report on that. So it's quite automatically kind of assessing the risks of your movements.
Yeah, then this is mostly for like physical jobs.
Physical jobs. That could be your maybe your post worker or somebody working in a kitchen, the butcher, the baker, people working at a factory, for example, and people working with elderly people, for example, could also be a target group. The people collecting the trash also do a lot of physical things. There's a lot of jobs where you really do some movements that maybe could injure you, and then if you just do them a little bit different, you will be less prone to getting an injury.
Then it's a nice prevention tool.
And that's two young guys from Aalborg who has created this solution, and it's very interesting and has a lot of potential for really helping people.
Definitely.
We can go a bit down to this one. And now I haven't really started it, but otherwise I would like to show you, but of course the viewers out there won't be able to kind of see. But basically what this does, these are VR goggles, and in here you have a lens for each eye, and that really gives the experience of being in there. It's much like going into your television, and then when you look around, you will see, just like we do in the real world. When I look around, the environment moves around, where a TV is very two-dimensional. It stands still.
And this is for TV, basically.
Yeah, it's basically a TV that you put on your head. And then what these guys have done, they have created a lot of videos around Denmark. These are called Take a Walk. And they have just videos of animals, videos from farms, videos from different places in the world. That is New York, Paris, Aarhus, Copenhagen. So you can basically, no matter where you are, you can travel to these places. So that is really made for people who are not in a situation where they will be able to travel. That can, for example, be people who have a handicap and maybe are at a nursing home and have difficulty getting around. And for example, taking a trip to Paris will be very difficult for them. But then they can get not the real thing, but maybe the next best thing, and that can start some conversations. But that's a very interesting also solution.
And it's good to keep people in touch with that, even though you're
definitely
not able to go out.
And what you often work with is also that you take people where they have been before. So I don't know where you come from. Portugal. Then we will probably go somewhere in Portugal if I was to show you something, because you would remember things you have seen before, and you would remember the environments and so on. And for me, it would be up in north of Jutland, where maybe it would be relevant to take me, because that is where I have grown up. So that is often the way you use it. And you can also use it to a lot of teaching. So that is basically for anybody. They also create a lot of simulations of scenarios that can teach you something, for example.
Okay, and can you imagine if I would get this, would I be able to record something and then later upload it?
Yeah, you could do that yourself as well, and then put it in here, and I would basically able to. Now I have two glasses here, so when we have guests in here, I would usually put it on two people, and then I can control it with the tablet, what they see, and I can also point at different things within the tablet, so that oh, look over here, and then they will be nudged to take a look over in that side of the video. But yeah, basically anybody can go out and record these 360 videos. That is also some equipment that we have here, and we actually also do a 360 tour of the place in here for each exhibition that we do. So you can actually find that on our website. You can go around in here looking at the things from home. Yeah. That is also very, what would you say, pandemic proof. So yes. Even though we get shut down, maybe at some points, you will still be able to visit us via the web.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah, let's move on. Maybe we can go over here. So this is from a company called Open, and it's called Skyen. And Skyen is actually just this device here. And what it does is that it measures the indoor climate. So you would put this somewhere, or usually you would mount it on the wall. And then you have to connect it to power, and that's it. Then it will be working, and it will actually measure the CO2. And the CO2 is we breathe in oxygen, like O2, and then we breathe out CO2. And when you are in a room, that could be a classroom, for example, for very long, there will kind of gather a lot of CO2, and at some point it will actually be not healthy. It would be unhealthy to stay in that room if there is a large concentration of CO2. So I don't know if you can maybe try, let me see. If I can get it to go red. Yeah.
Maybe not. But maybe. I think it's getting...
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, okay, the blue is getting different.
So now, for example, it will probably turn blue again in just a minute. It's a very large room here. But now I should go somewhere and open the window, because actually right now the area around Skyen here is actually unhealthy to sit in for too long. So the solution is actually just to open the window. And it's a big problem in especially classrooms where there's a lot of students and they are sitting there for many hours during the day. So what Skyen actually just does is that it tells you, okay, now I should open the window, and when it turns blue, okay, now I can shut it again. So it's really about creating like a healthy indoor climate.
Yeah, which is very necessary. I don't think people even think about this.
No, and you actually you don't. Maybe you cannot feel it, but in your your cognitive abilities and your abilities to learn can actually there's research on this, like would decline if you are sitting in a very large concentration of CO2. When it gets really high, sometimes you can really feel it, that the air is heavy and it's not comfortable. But yeah, that is Skyen. Very nice, simple product, and also a Danish startup. So that is actually inventors. A lot of these solutions are Danish inventors that create solutions. And these has actually been out asking and involving a lot of students and classrooms around in Denmark, kind of involving them in the development on this solution, and really taking in the students' advice, in how should it look, like how would you as a kid think of clean air, and a lot of people would think of a blue cloud that is clean, or at least kids would. So yeah, and then they also actually create some material for classrooms, so they get a lot better understanding of why it's very necessary to have good air within the rooms that you are in. Also, of course, you learn something about chemistry in O2 and CO2. So yeah, they quite interesting solution and very interesting company as well. We could maybe go over to this one here. It is called Grid. It's from a company, a Danish company also called Åbentoft. They work with a lot of technologies for communication. So you and I, we can talk to each other, but actually there is a lot of people who are not able to speak. They're not able to speak similar to as we are, like vocally. So they will need other devices for communication, and that could be a device such as this one. So of course now this is in Danish, but you will be able to create quick sentences. So I just said I would like to. I would like to do something. I think I would like to draw. And the next thing I might say here is like I would like to draw a picture. So I would of course need paper and something to draw with. I could also maybe say the specific colors that I would like. So that is another way of communicating. And then if I clean this up, I can go back to my main screen. And then you of course design it for yourself. And you can also, here there is the speaker, and here will also, let me see. Here will also arrive the things. So normally you would have this targeted towards someone else, and you will be able to see the screen. So it works in many ways like our phone does, but it's especially designed that the software is created for people who doesn't have a spoken language. They are also exhibiting this solution actually, which is a small calendar, very simple, but it's actually made for people who have cognitive disorders. That could be something like dementia, is something a lot of people know, and something a lot of people, at old age can get dementia of different causes. What it shows is that the time of the day, it shows the dates and which day of the week, and then it shows the clock. Additionally, it could show like the program of the day. So I have to get up at 8. Then I have to remember I have to catch the bus at 10:30. I have to train at 12:15, and then I have to walk my dog at 14:30. And that can seem like, okay, that's quite obvious. Normally I would just use my phone for that. But a lot of people with cognitive disorders and dementia, they are not able actually to use a phone. They use maybe a very simple phone. Then this can be very neat to have if it's just somewhere where you walk past during the day, that you can see these things, and you can always find out what the clock is, because the days can kind of be hard to differentiate sometimes.
And does it have like an alarm when it gets to that time, like a loud alarm or something?
I think it could do something like a nudging, that now you have to, now I haven't turned it up very high, but you can turn it up, and then you you can get it to say some things.
Okay.
What you have to do.
Okay. Nice.
Maybe we can take this one. It's just something called a comp. It's a bit similar to what we just saw over there. Instead, this is just like a screen. You can turn up and down for the volume here. Otherwise, it also shows the clock. What it additional does is that it shows pictures. These are some of my contacts. Now I can try and connect. There's me. So this would be placed, for example, at my father's home, and then I will actually be able to send him a picture. Now I can try and see. Let's see if we can do a selfie. Let's put it in there. Yeah, let's say.
So is it basically a very big screen for your phone?
Yeah, but it's much like we use our phone for social media, like Facebook. This would probably be very similar to Snapchat or Instagram. Like I post a picture with a text on, and then persons who don't use social media will be able to actually use it in some way. They cannot send pictures the other way around. They don't have to do any interaction here. Like you cannot do anything with this device. It just shows the pictures. So it's especially for often, of course, it would be elderly who don't use phones and so on. You can send pictures to them, and you can do it as a whole family or a friends group, much like we do with our phones and Instagram and Snapchat and so on. Other thing you can do is that you can call. So you can do a two-way communication. Now, of course, I should be somewhere else.
Yeah.
but you can do like this, and then I will be able to.
And can you see us? Ah.
Yeah. So I can see you here on my phone. So it's much like a video call with our phone. And then it is a camera, and yeah, I can turn. Now I've just put the mic away, but we will be able to hear hear each other, and it works that way. It's very simple.
But it's really nice. Like I could totally see my grandparents really taking advantage of that.
Yeah.
We're like 5 minutes there. Like I cannot use this.
Yeah.
Can you do something else? Like it's yeah. So this would be really nice.
Yeah, so it really helps getting everybody involved, like in our very digitalized society, because you don't have to go more than 10, 15 years back. We didn't have all of these solutions for getting in touch with each other, and having these very great lines of communication, sharing photos, being with each other, like even though we might be at different time zones and so on. And a lot of people have not adjusted to that and are not able to use all of these devices. But this makes it very simple for anybody who are not used to working these devices.
Yeah, definitely. And that was it for today. We hope you enjoyed this exhibition. See you next time.